Holiday mode activated. Summer is a seasonal shift that brings light, energy, and natural openness. Spiritually, this time of year holds power for renewal and expansion, and psychologically, the long days and extra sunlight boost our mood and motivation, making it a perfect moment to reflect and reset. In the last video, we talked about how tricky it can be initially to switch off on holiday and why that is. That video is linked here if you missed it. When we finally do slow down, we hear what our body and mind have been trying to tell us. This pause helps to clear mental clutter and make space for powerful reflection. In this two-part series, I'm taking you with me on our road trip and inviting you into your own mid-year reset. Part 1 is all about reflecting on the season past and releasing what no longer serves you. Part 2 will help you decide who you want to be moving forward and how to step into that version of yourself. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss part 2 coming soon. For me, just getting on the open road is the beginning of that release. Windows down, the warm summer air, the playlists, the snacks, the silence and the company. Somewhere between these things, I find myself again. All right, we are finally on our way from Igoumenitsa, which is right there in the background, where we missed the 7:30 ferry by 3 minutes. Absolutely devastated. So we had to wait another hour and a half for the 9 o'clock ferry, but all's well that ends well. We're on it now, we're on our way. We'll be there in an hour and a half, and this is where we are headed. Into the sunset. Yay! It's a wee bit chilly up here, this wind, and this is definitely the most anxious I've ever been holding this camera. I feel like any second I'm going to drop it into the water. This is alarming. And there she is. We're excited and we're freaking freezing. Okay, now there she is. If we weren't in holiday mode yet, this ferry ride across the channel will certainly do it. Missing the ferry by a few minutes may have been a small hiccup, but it's a reminder that sometimes plans shift and we can't control everything. I didn't want to arrive this late, this wasn't the plan, but actually, as it turns out, this magical nighttime view is absolutely worth it. The moon, the lights on the little boats peacefully floating in the port, the castle and the city all lit up, what a welcome. Waking up here is like waking up in literal paradise. The air is warm, the sea seems to stretch endlessly, and all you can hear are the waves and the cicadas. Summer has always been a sacred time for me, probably because growing up and spending most of my life in Australia, the summer also marked that transition from one year to the next. It's a natural time of rest, refresh, and renewal. Wherever you are though, the summer season is a powerful moment of harvest, expansion, light and energy. It invites us to be open and expansive, and it's a potent time for reflection and release. Release and reset practices are common at the end of the year. I know I make a whole ritual out of my end of year intention setting practice. But there's no need to wait for January 1st to reset. In fact, this midpoint of the year is a perfect pause, a sacred space to reflect on the season behind us, harvest what we planted at the beginning of the season, and release what no longer serves our growth. It's a chance to clear the mental clutter, check in with old patterns, and create space for new possibilities. I'm not particularly up with the moon and stars, but I'm sure that there's plenty of astrological significance to this time of year as well. Let me know in the comments if you do know. A beautiful place to start this process of reflection and release is with centering. Centering is a simple micro meditation you can do anywhere. Notice your breath, feel your body soften, ground your feet. This practice calms your nervous system, helping you to become present and drop in with yourself. I've never properly learned to meditate myself and just started like most people do with the apps. Headspace, Insight Timer, some of my favourite guided meditations are by Julie Ella Grace. Learning to meditate properly is a gift I'd really love to give myself one day, but in the meantime, practices like centering or listening to guided meditations really help me anchor and ground, particularly before doing any kind of ritual like we're about to do now.
We sit to the cafe?
Yeah.
And we drink something?
We sit to the cafe.
Yeah.
So we've decided to come up the hill a little bit and have a look at the little town of Pelecas. It's not our first time in Corfu, but it is our first time in this area of the island. So we thought, why not come and explore this charming little town? And we're going to take you with us. This moment is your invitation to drop in and really take stock of the season that's just passed. Where are you at this midpoint of the year? Are there any intentions you set at the beginning of the year that have maybe fallen by the wayside or perhaps don't fit with who you're becoming? What's worked well for you? What are you proud of? What felt really challenging? Take time to acknowledge and sit with what you've been through, the quote-unquote good and the bad. It all deserves a moment here. Take your time here, drop in, breathe, and honestly reflect. What brought you joy? Where might you have surprised yourself with your strength or resilience? What lessons stand out most clearly?
I have the microphone. We know you are in Corfu. Are you recording?
It's really easy to forget our wins and accomplishments, especially when our mistakes stick in our mind. Reflection like this isn't about judgment or cataloguing our mistakes, but about awareness, seeing your journey fully so you can decide what to carry forward with you into the next season and what it's time to gently release. For me, starting another life coach has been a major moment this year. It's something I've been conceptualizing forever, so it's really exciting to be finally actively doing it. It's definitely challenged me though. I've always had a bit of a love-hate thing with social media, so naturally, this has really pushed me out of my comfort zone. I'm also really proud though of how I've stayed consistent and showed up, and I'm so grateful to all of you who choose to stay and watch and even subscribe. Setting boundaries around it has been really key for me. I see social media as an amazing space and tool for connection, but it's also not a place I want to live all the time, and I think that's okay. At this midpoint of the season, harvest is visible. The seeds you planted earlier in the year are growing in full bloom, or they might even be struggling. As you reflect, some patterns may be starting to stand out. Thoughts or beliefs that held you back, or the negative voice that's been critical or discouraging. These limiting beliefs aren't the truth about who you are, but stories you've learned over time. At this time, gently notice where these beliefs and the negative voice have shown up. What negative messages have you been accepting without question? This is your chance to question them and begin the process of releasing their hold. I know for me, a big limiting belief has been thinking that I'm just not a social media person. Like maybe I don't fit the usual mold. And then there's the pressure to be online all the time, chasing the algorithm, which honestly can feel really draining. My inner critic loves to chip in too, telling me I'm not doing enough or I'm not doing it right. But when I take this time to notice these thoughts for what they are, just beliefs, not facts, the more space I feel to create and show up in a way that feels true to me, and I figure that should resonate more with others. I have full videos on limiting beliefs and the inner critic if you want to learn more about these. They're linked in the description. Now comes the really empowering part. deciding what you want to take with you into the next season of your life and the rest of the year, and what you're ready to leave behind. Maybe you're taking strengths, lessons, habits, or intentions that have supported you. Maybe you're letting go of fears, doubts, some relationships, old patterns or stories that no longer serve your growth. Maybe you're noticing some goals or intentions you set at the beginning of the year that actually don't fit or need reworking in order to be doable. Take this moment to really make space inside yourself for all of it, honouring your journey so far and opening to new possibilities. I've decided to leave behind the belief that I'm not a social media person, because honestly, what does that even mean? What kind of person is that? What are the criteria? It's just a story I've been telling myself. At the same time, I'm taking with me my commitment to honour my values around social media and the boundaries I've set. That way I can continue to show up consistently in a way that feels real and sustainable for me, and that hopefully resonates most with people since it's coming from an authentic place. Now that you've figured out what you're taking with you and what you're ready to let go of, let the energy of summer help you really cleanse and refresh. Summer is such a powerful time for transformation. The light and warmth naturally invite us to release old stuff and make space for new growth. Feeling the breeze, the sun, the water, and the salt on my skin and in my hair feels like a real energetic cleanse. Whatever nature you have around you, it doesn't have to be a Greek island for this to work. Wherever you are, this season's energy is there to support you. As we wrap up part 1, rest into that feeling. You've created space for growth and renewal, and soon in part 2, we'll explore how to bring vision and intention into your next chapter. For now, remember, rest is radical rebellion in a culture that values constant busyness. This is your power move. If this mid-year reset is your cup of tea, you can like, subscribe, or maybe even share it with someone who you think might need it. I'm glad you're here either way. And please know that I believe in you and your infinite potential to go out into the world and shine. Until next time.